The queen had ruled for many years from her towering, ancient fortress perched atop the desolate hills, where cold winds whispered through the broken stone walls and the sky was perpetually shrouded in heavy gray clouds. This once majestic castle had long since become a hollow shell, silent except for the mournful sighs of the wind, echoing the tragic past of the land below. The queen's heart was heavy with bitterness and deep sorrow, forged by memories of countless scars left behind by humankind's relentless march of destruction. She believed with unwavering certainty that humans were creatures of ruin, bringing death and desolation wherever they stepped. The forests that once flourished had turned to ash, rivers that once flowed freely had run dry, and cities that had glittered with life had crumbled into dust. Her nights were haunted by visions of fiery wars and the cries of lost innocence, painting a bleak tapestry that reinforced her conviction that humanity was incapable of creation, only annihilation. But then, one fateful day, a gleaming vessel pierced the bleak sky, a beacon of light and hope that descended silently near her fortress. From it emerged a group of humans, clad in shimmering suits that reflected the pale sunlight, eyes bright with hope and hearts resolute with purpose. They came bearing words of peace and a promise of aid, seeking an alliance to heal the ravaged world. The queen gazed upon them with cold skepticism, her voice sharp and filled with the weight of her past wounds. "You," she said, "who have only ever destroyed, how can you now speak of help and healing?" The humans replied patiently, telling stories of their own history, of mistakes and wars, yes, but also of lessons learned, of redemption sought, and of a new generation determined to rebuild rather than raise. The conversations stretched long into the twilight, fraught with tension and suspicion. The queen's guards tightened their grips on their weapons, watching these visitors warily, ready to defend their ruler at any sign of betrayal. Suddenly, amidst this fragile dialogue, an accident sparked. A soldier among the humans was injured, his blood staining the stone floor. Tension escalated swiftly, and then, from the distant horizon, shadowy enemy ships appeared, hostile, relentless, and far deadlier than anyone had anticipated. Explosions rocked the fortress, fire and smoke billowed, and chaos erupted as everyone scrambled for safety. The queen found herself trapped in the mayhem, vulnerable as the walls around her shook and crumbled. It was then that the wounded soldier, despite his pain and weakness, rushed forward without hesitation and shielded the queen from a falling beam, saving her life. Stunned, she looked into his eyes and asked, "Why would you risk your life for me, your enemy?" His answer was calm but unwavering. "Because life is sacred, even for those we see as foes." That moment shattered the queen's long-held prejudice. From that day forward, the walls of mistrust began to crumble. The queen and the humans gathered together, sharing stories of pain and hope, fear and dreams. The queen revealed the wounds her people carried. The humans spoke of their journey toward peace and restoration. Slowly, the queen's heart softened, and she chose to trust, to join hands with those she once despised. Together, they began to rebuild, planting trees where forests once stood, cleansing the poisoned rivers, repairing shattered homes, and breathing life back into the land. Day by day, the planet began to pulse with renewed vitality, and a bond blossomed between the queen and the humans, a bond founded on trust and mutual hope. But peace was fleeting. The dark enemies returned, stronger and more terrifying than before. The queen and the humans united, forging new strategies, blending ancient wisdom and modern technology to defend their home. The battle that followed was fierce and desperate, a war of courage, sacrifice, and unbreakable will. Through blood and fire, they stood together, their combined strength overcoming the shadows that threatened to consume them. When dawn finally broke, the rising sun painted the sky with colors of promise and rebirth. The queen spoke aloud, her voice resolute and hopeful. "The time for judgment has passed. Now is the time to build, to live, and to create anew." Humans can be saviors, not destroyers. This is the story of a queen who learned that hate could give way to hope, that enemies could become allies, and that through trust and unity, even the deepest wounds could heal. A story of redemption, of new beginnings, and the unyielding strength of life itself.